Hello, friends from the comic and manga world. My name is Hector,
And my name is G.
and we're here to talk to you about our picks for the September 22nd FOC. G and I work for Penguin Random House, and the titles that we talk about in these videos are from the publishers that we can represent into the direct market around the world. And also note that we're on social media, so you can find us on Instagram, X, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah, we'll leave links in the description below for you. And without further ado, we're gonna get started. I think it's you are up first, right? Yeah.
Yes. First up, we have The Broken Ring, Volume 1. This is from Cha Cha Kim, uh, which I think is interesting because that's kind of like my mom's name.
Oh,
A little
really?
bit different. Yeah.
Ah.
So yeah, a variation of her name, I should say. So anyway,
Are you sure your mom didn't
just so
write
you
this?
know, do you want to know what my mom's name is?
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing on, we have this is essentially an adaptation of the web novel. So
Mhm.
this is coming out in print physically for the first time. We have Ines, who is this daughter of a powerful noble family, and we have Carcel, who is cousin to the crown prince, and they've been engaged to each other since they were 6 years old. So it's an arranged marriage type of deal. So this long delayed marriage has been like the talk of high society for years, and the fiance is most notoriously known as a playboy, and Anise seems like kind of content with that because she's like, this is just an arrangement. She actually encourages him to do whatever he wants even after the wedding because for her it's just out of a marriage of convenience, right? And they just need to maintain this order among the nobles. And so, what no one really knows, not even the gossipers, not even Carcel, is that Anish, she has plans for her marriage of obligation, and it has nothing to do with love. And no one knows what that is. You won't know unless you read it, so you have to read it to know. But then what kind of causes like a rift here in her plan is that for some reason he decides that he wants to reform his ways, stop
Mhm.
being a playboy, uh, and he wants to marry immediately and prove to her that he's worthy of her true affections, and she must keep her wits about her or else she like risks losing everything that she spent her lifetime of heartache and obligation for. So, interesting dynamic. If you like drama, this is for you. So this volume 1 collects episodes 1 to 14 of the webcomic.
Excellent. And let's get going with cover picks. And this is the first one for me. This is the CD Beneath Her Feet number 2. This is cover B by Mattia de Ulis. This obviously this from Distillery. I love that they do these not just bigger size, but also a lot of you know spreads around the two covers. So in this one, it's a great cover. This is written by James Tynion the Fourth and illustrated by Elsa Charretier. But like I said, Mattia de Lulis from this Italian artist is doing this art. I haven't read this, so I don't know the name of these characters, but I love how they look here, how they have um, the skyline, New York skyline in the background. They're on the bridge, and they look. One of them looks very menacing. The other menacing, but kind of relaxed. I don't know, kind of hanging out. Um, I love the play of lights and shadows on this. It almost feels like there's a spotlight or there's a helicopter maybe flying up above. That's why there's paper all over the place. I don't know, but that's what it gives me a vibe of like a helicopter, a police helicopter up above, shining a spotlight on them. I don't know why I thought that. There's a lot of detail, a lot of uh, very interested, so much to look at in these pictures, from the way they dress, from the way they, even their accessories, and the way their hair. is, and their weapons, and of course their facial expressions, which I love the contrast between the two. And I love that when you fold it and you have the comic closed up, you have like two sides of a coin, like they look very opposite. Um, Very cool. Yes, love this one.
Okay, next up, this is Fantastic Four issue 4. And I chose this cover because it looks like it looks like a family like photo, or like, like they're just posing for the camera here. And I love the disgruntled forced proximity that you see
Yeah.
uh from behind. So in this particular issue, I I really need to pick this up because the premise sounds a lot of fun. So we have Alicia, who's returned to this sculpture convention, and she discovers that the Fantastic Four has a new pet, an adorable new dog that everyone says that she'll love. But something is off about this dog. At first touch, it feels like cold, wet, slimy, which is not what she was expecting. But all of a sudden, like a moment later, when she touches the dog, like she feels soft fur like you expect from a dog. And so what's happening here? Who's trying to infiltrate the Fantastic Four itself, making everyone one think that this is a dog? So the creature that you have here has designs of its own, and perhaps the entire planet is at risk.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a lot of fun for this issue, and a really fun cover too. I like
Yeah.
how everyone in the forefront is like trying not to, it looks like they're trying not to blink.
Yeah, they're like their eyes wide open, waiting for the flash. Mm.
Waiting for the camera
Yeah,
to go off, and then
yeah, and of course, Umberto Ramos is so good at doing these sort of family portraits. He has done it across so many other comics. It's just perfect. It's just
and you can
so
see
good.
the pet right there on the cover.
Yeah, and of course, Johnny, he's trying to keep he's calm, but he can't with thing, and of course, part of his hand is already on fire. I love every detail of this. It's so good. Yes. Yes. All right. And next up is Magic the Gathering Untold Stories, Elspeth, number 2, cover 8. This one is done by Owen Gianni, who also illustrates this book in the interiors, which is written by Dan Waters. And I think I did I pick? I think I picked already issue number 1 before one of the covers. It's just they're coming out with really cool covers. This one, of course, uh, the image is very, very cool and striking. And you have this, I don't know the name of the characters, but I know this female character with the sword and, sort of in a fight with these other characters that you see in the reflection. But of course, as a comic geek, you might notice that it's kind of a familiar image because it looks like it's an homage of the Wolverine number 2 by Arthur Adams. Um, Very cool looking, but I love also, yeah, that you have all the details. Like I said, it's not just having the other character reflection on her sword, but also she's all beat up and ready to go at it again. Very cool. Next up.
All right, this is Return to Sleepy Hollow, issue 1. I chose particularly the cover A, done by Savannah Mayer. And this is a return of Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, which came out in 1999. So it continues with this, the return, of course, to Sleepy Hollow. So we had the Headless Horseman who um, basically, it's been 15 years and he hasn't plagued the town since then, but unknowingly you know, unknowingly with the residents there, they aren't aware that there's deeper evils that are lurking, of course, in the roots of the town. And we have uh Ichabod Crane, who receives this frantic letter urging him to return to Sleepy Hollow, and he must reunite with his estranged love, Katrina, to investigate everything that is strange and unexplainable, the murders that are happening. Together, it's will they uncover the truth of the Sleepy Hollow origins that connects all of the weirdness that is happening in town. And this cover, so creepy.
Yeah.
It also reminds me of like the Cat's Cradle game, the way that they're like
Yeah. Yeah. You,
that there's whining the like string, but it's
mhm.
around each other's neck, so it's very threatening as well. Uh, yeah, it's just a really striking cover. So,
Yeah, and also sort of obviously the opposite, upside down head sort of kind of reminds you of like tarot cards or playing cards.
mhm,
That image. Yeah. There's a lot in there, and the birds, the creepy birds all over the place.
mhm, mhm.
Very cool. Next up, speaking of creepy and cool at the same time, this is Alien versus Captain America #1. This is the Dampen Ocean foil variant, and I definitely had to pick this one. It looks so cool. It's really right out of uh, H.R. Geiger's portfolio almost. And in this one, I we go back to World War II, and we have Hydra, as they're always looking for weapons to win against the Allies, to win the war. In this case, Baron Strucker goes up in the Himalayas and finds something that might help. And of course, it's Captain America's, Steve Rogers, uh, job to make sure that not only it doesn't work against the Allies and wins the Hydra and the Nazis in the war, but also it doesn't destroy the world, especially Europe. Uh, Very cool. I love that you know what you're getting from just looking at the image. You have the very straightforward alien, characters and images on there, but then you have Cap's shield on there, and of course you can see a little bit. I didn't notice before until now, I think, but there's a little bit of smoke coming out, probably because the xenomorph it's bleeding and it's acid, but then I don't think it's doing much to Cap's you know vibranium shield, but still I love that Dan Panosian thought of putting that small detail in there, and also that you see the two mouths of the xenomorph on top, just the creepiest part of the xenomorph, I think. Very, very cool. It's really excited. Check out all the other covers for this one too. There's a lot of really cool covers for this one. That's it. Next one.
Next, this is The Beauty, the issue number 1. This is Jeremy Hahn. So this is soon to be a television produced series. The showrunner is Ryan Murphy. It's premiering on FX this fall. And so the smash hit comic, The Beauty, is returning back to comic shops. So we have this brand new volume or brand new issue 1. A little bit about this in case you are unfamiliar. The Beauty is essentially, it chronicles what happens when a new sexually transmitted disease begins to spread. Only what's interesting about the disease is that people actually want it because those who contact or contract it are literally changed into the most beautiful versions of themselves. So the hitch here, of course, is that they'll have a slight fever and eventually death is marked for them. But isn't that the price that you're willing to pay? Is it for to be gorgeous? So this new series follows several characters as they deal with the beauty and how it has changed society around them. A thief for hire on a dangerous job. We have a meteorologist with like plummeting ratings. we have special agents specializing in beauty-related crimes, and they'll all find their lives converging amongst each other despite how different they are and various backgrounds they have. And so we'll have some like fan favorite characters that people would recognize with this that from the original series and returning as well in this new series. So The Beauty, of course, I've mentioned here, co-written by Jeremy Han, or co-creators Jeremy Han and Jason Hurley. And this time around, they're going to be joined by an artist, Emma Lupuscino. Sorry, apologies for the pronunciation. Lupacino, I believe, and who did work on the world's finest Teen Titans. So if you're familiar with their work. And yeah, it's just a really interesting take on this premise. And of course, we're coming back, which is good timing, right? With
Yep.
the television series as well.
Yes. Sure. Next up, Jeff the Land Shark, number 5. This is the Toki Tokoro variant, who's also the illustrator for this series, and that is scripted by Kelly Thompson. Very cool cover here. I'm just gonna read the description real quick about um, for this series or for this issue specifically. Bubble, bubble, Jeff's in trouble. Jeff is hot on the Shadow Demon's tail as he follows it back through the vortex to the Sanctum Sectorum. Can Super Pals, Magique, and Scarlet Witch help reunite Jeff with his shadow? Well, here we see that the trio are just hanging out sort of in space with pumpkins around them. Look like they might be exploding pumpkins. Uh, and a very good, a cool rendition of both Magic and Scarlet Witch, and of course of Jeff. Yes, like I said, floating around, looking very witchy. Is that are they on? Oh, I just noticed they're on brooms. Is that what
Yes.
it is?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, so Magic and Jeff are on brooms. Of course, Wanda doesn't need a broom because she can fly. And very very cool. Toki Tokoro, you might have recognized his art because of their art because they've worked on other Jeff the Landshark and Rivals comics before, and you can recognize this style. They have a very specific style. Very cool. Yeah, it's like I have to pick this one for sure. Next
All
up.
right, next up for a piece of news. So Briar came out, I gotta say, like around 2022.
Hmm.
And people loved it, and it
Yes.
was originally a limited series, but they kept it going. But Boom Studios recently announced that is, fortunately, all good things must come to an end, so it will be
Yeah.
concluding. So this is the conclusion, but the conclusion to the beginning. So it starts with Briar Knight's Terror issue number 1. So what you're seeing right now is the 20th anniversary, the Boom 20th anniversary variant. And I've noted here that you're seeing right now the full art version, but of course there will be a trade dress variant as well. And continuing with that, we have these other covers, which is really neat. Alex Linz and Philippe Andrade, which that one is really pretty.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's really, really cool. And then continuing here, we have incentive covers, a 1 in 10 by Morgan Andrade, and also Tyler Cook, a 1 in 25 incentive
Hmm.
cover. So this is not it. There's going to be more, but this is the
Yeah.
ones that are released so far. So just putting this out because yeah, just bringing attention to this. If you aren't familiar, this story is essentially a dark fantasy retelling of the classic Sleeping Beauty story,
Hmm.
and the writer on this is Christopher Cantwell, and it has really captivated readers when it came out. I have the first issue somewhere, like buried under my buried somewhere. And
Me too.
unfortunately, yeah, it is coming to an end, but you can't miss out on the conclusion here. We have Briar, Rose, and Spider who finally share a moment of romantic bliss in the village of High Scrape. The final challenge still awaits them, and the gang must navigate the perilous Falls Witch traps, the last barrier to reach Grundon's lair. So the treacherous journey awaits them, and we have one last spell to revive Grundon to the heights of her power. Will our heroes be prepared for the ultimate showdown with this conclusion that you see
Hmm.
here? So really excited for this. Again, the variant program with this is really, really nice. And
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's such a cool story, like you said, and it's we see a lot of these sort of new versions of classical fairy tale stories, and of course it, it, we've seen that before, but this is a truly, like, we also sell in Penguin Random House the Disney books, and they have the Twisted Tales for young adult, which is basically taking the story of the princesses and twisting them. But these are truly twisted. This is a really twisted tale, and it's definitely not for young adults. It's for adults. But it's really, really cool the way they kind of completely just took the story and put it on, turn it on its head. Um, Anyways, I'm also a fan, and I also have my number one issue somewhere in the sea of comic books over there that you can't see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We do this every week, but we also have some monthly videos that we post. So you'll be able to see what manga, what collected editions are coming every month. Like I mentioned before, we're also on social media, so be sure to check us out. And we hope you come back. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Hi, everyone.